Like, what do you have to do when working for UNF? What are your three guidelines, like, that you feel like, so then you're respecting UNF, but also like sticking true to yourself? When you're like working a job, like, what are like the three main things like you feel like you have to prioritize as a respect thing?
Um, I think you have to show the school, whether it's college or high school, like in a good light. Like you gotta, like you can't. I put one thing, like you can't talk trash about the school that you work for.
Yeah.
So like I've seen people go out to different high schools and they've been vocal about like I want to get paid, like these people need to pay me, but then the next day they get online, they're like, oh man, that team's so trash. Like, why did I waste my Friday night filming and taking pictures of them? They're not good. It's kind of like you want people to pay you, but yet you're online trashing teams.
Yeah, like,
It's
why would they
like,
pay you at that point?
yeah, like I've worked at a school that wasn't that good, but I'm not going online talking bad about them. Like
Mm-hmm.
the goal is to get paid.
You're just there getting your job done.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't want other schools to see you and be like, oh yeah, he's the guy that just talks trash about your team.
Yeah.
They're never gonna want you. Like I work with three high schools. Obviously I work with UNF. So if someone sees that I'm bashing UNF, like maybe one of their sports teams, I'm pretty sure they're like, yeah, you don't need to come back here. And
That's
it,
literally what they would do, though.
yeah, they'd be like, yeah, denied. Like I'd be like that meme where that guy's trying to get into the door and he can't get in. But like people always ask, like, hey, how does that one school pay you? How did you get your foot in the door? It's like one, you got to know the right person. Most people will say, hey, go talk to the coach. Football coaches or basketball coaches, half the time they don't care. They're not. They're worried about winning and getting ready for the next game.
Yeah.
I would suggest like figuring out who the athletic director is. Um, just introducing yourself, trying to figure out what they would need, figure out their budget, and also are you going to provide value to them? I mean, that's what I did to get in. Like, I mean, granted, I got lucky because I'm a teacher, so but I made
Yeah.
a name for myself though. Like, as I
Mm-hmm.
told you, do people think about Grant Visuals or do they think about Colby? And 99% of the time, it's Grant Visuals.
Yeah.
So whether you see me and you have no idea who I am, you'll know the product that I produce.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got in a lot of the positions that I got is producing great content for the schools that I work for. Oh yeah, that was a bonus. Yeah, I think that's still a goal. My hopefully can at least shoot one NFL game in my lifetime. But
Hopefully.
yeah, so as I said, it's not the all and be all, but it is one of my goals. Maybe not 2025, but sometime before I lay down and don't get back up.
It's fine time then, hopefully.
Hopefully. I mean, what about you? Like, how do you? What would be three tips to give like an athlete, like
I mean,
to
God.
no, to kind of like I mean, you're injured, but even your past years, like, what would be three tips for you to give someone to better themselves on the court? Or even feel like maybe if they have a bad shooting game, I know you said points don't matter, but like, if they're having a bad shooting game, how can you still be, how could you still contribute to the team?
Um, I mean, it's honestly something I can work on, even being injured, just like being more vocal. Like, I don't think I'm not a vocal person, but like I'm just not the like cheery like stuff. It's like if I need to tell you like this is what you should do or you missed this, like I'm gonna tell you, but like I'm not like I don't know, like I don't celebrate and that kind of stuff. So it's more like just like being vocal with your teammates. So like if they are missing shots, it's like, oh, you got the next one. Like I would always say that to anyone. That's just like how it goes. You should tell them to keep shooting because then it's like if I'm missing my shots and someone tells me to keep shooting, like in my head, I'm like, Alexa, like you suck, like stop shooting the ball. But it's like realistically, like when you hear someone else say that, it's kind of like, okay, like they trust me. And like that's like a good thing for other people to hear. So stuff like that, like vocal. Um, I would say connect connections with your team. Like, I don't know. I'm like really grateful for UNF because I know a lot of teams, like I have friends that play a lot of places and it's like the teams don't get along or the coaching staff is like horrible. And it's like our team, even this year, last year, like never have had any problems. In a group of 12 girls having no drama, I feel like that's heaven. Like that's
Oh yeah.
impossible. Like and it's like we all get along, like we all have connections and I feel like that helps us on and off the court to an extent. And my last tip would kind of just be like don't be selfish. Like I don't think you can be on a team if you're selfish. Like and if you are, I feel like you're a cancer to a team. Cause like you just can't be worried about yourself. It's a team sport. And if you don't want to play a team sport, go play tennis or
Wrestle.
something. Yeah, wrestle. I mean, that's still a team, but at least you're doing it by yourself at that point.
Yeah.
But
But
like
I
you
mean,
have
like, no,
go
keep
ahead.
going.
No, no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like for people that are coming in, so like how does connecting how did you connect with the teammates when you first got to UNF? Because you're coming from Pittsburgh and then you're obviously with your visits you're interacting with them then.
Mhm.
But are you guys talking ahead of time? Like you guys are on Instagram? Are you guys texting? Like
Um
how does that connection form to where it flows like well when you first day there?
well, for UNF, cuz I think I committed my sophomore year, I want to say, maybe or my junior year. And then so I followed like some of them on Instagram. I never really talked to them though, just like liked each other's pictures. And then I snapped Kyla. She was gonna be my roommate. And then got here and kind of like already knew her. And then it was kind of like me and Kyla in the freshman group. Like I feel like everyone comes in and you're besties with your freshmen, which is like RIP. I miss all my friends. They're all gone. Like I love them all. But then I feel like for us, like what we always do is like first weekend when we're here, like we do a team something. Like come together, like play card games or I don't know if there's like a movie everyone wants to see. Like the first 3 weeks I remember last year, like we were all doing something together, went to the beach, and it's kind of just like little things like that. And obviously, like clicks are made, but like when it comes down to it, like if there's a group activity, everybody's gonna come. And I feel like that's a main thing. Like your team has to be willing to get to know one another, and that's what like they do here. And then like this year, I feel like I've gotten way closer with like the upperclassmen and I think that's a lot due to my injury. Like they just like supported me more like of a mom standpoint down on me, but like that was very helpful too. So
Yeah.
you just have to be like I don't know, I'm not a shy person, but you have to be willing to get to know people. Like I don't know, can't just stay in your room all day, I guess.
Yeah, that is
Mainly.
true. You can't say, "Oh, I want to play a team sport" and then not be a team player.
Yeah, cause then
Yeah,
it's like, cause I remember I forget who was telling me this. It was like they played on a team and like there's like one girl who was like never around. So then it was like they didn't trust her. And then it was like when you don't trust her off the court, how are you supposed to trust her on the court? Cause it's like I feel like if you don't really know somebody, like nothing's gonna translate over onto the court. That's why it's like I'm glad on my team, like we'll come together and we'll play. I don't, it's this one game where you have to like there's a word on the screen and you can't say it, but you have to describe it. And like we play that all the time and it gets competitive.
I know
It's
what you're talking about. I
bad.
don't know what it's
Yeah.
called, but
It
I know
gets
what you're talking about.
bad. But we always play that. It's fun
Yeah.
though.
No, I think that's something that I've always wondered, just from someone. I mean, granted, I did play sports in high school, but that's different because
Hmm.
a lot of the people you grew up with,
Yeah,
and
you already
you're
know
just
'em.
yeah. So just going and me being like not a social butterfly at first, like I feel like it. I mean, obviously you have to not be standoffish, but also like it is a trust issue, where
Hmm.
it is one of those things that you want to be able to trust these people because you guys have so many games together.
It does come down to like trusting them. Like it's like even in school right now, like doing a group project, I'm like, I have never talked to these people in my life. Like I do not like want to do this. Like can I just do it by
Group
myself? Group
group
projects are
projects are the worst.
horrible.
Yeah, those are the worst because there's
Horrible.
always that 1% that does not do anything.
Or it doesn't even answer the emails or
That too.
something.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
even
okay.
like trying to do that like with high schoolers is putting them in groups and knowing which kid's not going to do the work or
Mm-hmm.
try to get out of it and you're still like, bro, you have to do it. You got to I don't talk to any of them. They're not my friends. I don't care. Like, you got to interact.
Yeah, in college, I'm like, I've never seen this person in my life. I don't know who this person is. Like, I just have their N number, and it's like, all right, well, hope you answer. Let's
So
go full
hope for the
send.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, group projects are the worst. But I mean, as you said, like eventually you're gonna need someone. So
Yeah. No,
hopefully
I
you
agree.